The secret of high-performance, fearless leadership can best be summed up through the marriage of performance psychology and modern advances in neurophysiology. Timothy Gallwey, one of the greatest coaches of all time, put this into a very simple but crucial performance equation. P equals P minus I. Performance equals potential minus interference. Now, performance is an output, so we can't directly affect that. And when we look at potential, we know that we don't really know what our potential is. What we think is our potential is just a part of the story we tell ourselves about who we think we are. One thing we do know about it is that it is limited. And it is limited by the interference. Now, interference we can know about, and interference we can reduce. And that's what all of this work is about. Reducing the interference to enable us to perform to our full potential, whatever that might be. Now, when you think of interference, there are obviously two sorts. There are factors in our external environment that get in our way, from a traffic jam to not having enough money, to not having the skills or the training to do something, or not being physically strong enough, or being a little older than we once were and not having the stamina or the speed that we once had. So these are external and natural factors that we can do little or nothing about. However, they are neutral in themselves. What determines our performance within the context of this environmental factors is our relationship to them. And that's where the biggest possibility lies. If we think of the things that hold us back in business or in any other relationship, in leading ourselves, our teams, or our organizations, it's a pretty common list to everybody that I've worked with. Stress, anxiety, tension, impatience, anger, defensiveness, fear of change, fear of failure, fear of rejection, not knowing. All of these things are facets of a fear response. A fear response that, of course, has its place and its purpose, but in many, many, many cases, it is simply affecting aspects of ourselves and our lives which it has no right to be involved with. It is literally functioning out of its box. All of the work exemplified here can be seen as enabling us to remove that interference, to take it out and have more access to explore and fulfill the potential of ourselves, of others, our team, our organization, even our families and our children and our friends and our partners, without that unnecessary, fearful interference. Throughout this you'll see, and there's lots of factors involved in this, but the key elements are what I call the 3 Ps: presence, purpose, and positive intent, which allow us to lead ourselves fearlessly. We can then build fearless relationships through the act of connection, with awareness, connection, and transformation. We can then look at fearless skills like delegation, fearless communication, and other aspects of leadership that it will enable us to create fearless teams, fearless leadership teams, and of course fearless high-performance cultures for our organizations and for any other groups, family, community, or business that we're involved with. Many of these elements are covered in the video program that is available through this website. So have a look around and see, as I hope, what is useful for you in the work that I present here.